So this must have 100 psi over this all the time. So the inlet pressure of this must accommodate 100 psi nomination on the regulator to maintain the appropriate functionality of the pulse valves or Goyen valves through the filter pleats. Also here you can see there's an emergency stop. The emergency stop cancels this section out so that it no longer actuates, functions. And here we have the control panel for the engine itself. So the engine, the drive on this, is the most significant aspect, primarily because it makes the whole thing work. It works two things. One is it drives the big fan that draws all this air through. It has a hydraulic pump to actuate and alternate the auger to remove the consolidation of an accumulation of debris at the bottom of the cabinet itself. And so here we have a key, of course, with 3 gauges that tell us oil pressure, temperature of the engine, water, and voltage. And of course, this significant one here is revs per minute. So the reason we have to make sure that this is accessible, primarily because when we start the engine, we're going to engage the clutch, and then we're going to give it the appropriate revs to make the thing work to its optimum mobility. So with all of these types of equipment, there is the key to remove to make it safe when you're not on site. Also too, when you turn the key to a certain position, you'll need to push an override switch in, turn the key, get the thing to run, hold the switch in for a few moments, the little light goes out, away we go. So that is all in here. Makes it easy for you to understand, easy to operate. Ensure that when you're finished doing your daily inspections, all these hatches are closed and the whole unit is closed up. Because it's sucking a massive amount of air through this particular unit, it's important that all the hatches are closed, everything's sealed up, so that it has the opportunity to facilitate and filter the air that it draws through from your job. So because it's 40,000 CFM, we can actually attach 2 sets of duct to this and draw from 2 different areas or alternate areas within your encapsulation. As far as encapsulation is concerned, it's important to note that you have a sealed unit as far as encapsulation is concerned. No big holes cut in the encapsulation, corners not meeting and folding around appropriately. So we're trying to enclose it as much as we can, because if you're in an environment that's got lead within the abrasive that you may be utilising, it's important to remember that the filters in this unit and the enclosure of this unit is maintained to harness and house any contamination that may be within the encapsulation of which you're working. So by doing that, say for example the filters, which are periodically replaced in this unit, if you're in a lead environment, of course those filters then are deemed a contaminant and must be dispensed with in the appropriate manner. The big box here, no need for you to access that. That's all preset for those pulsing valves. So if you find that you have 100 psi on here, open the valve, and after a short period of time, those valves aren't pulsing and you'll hear them with a sharp, clean ch. So when you hear that, you know that they're working properly. If you don't hear that after a period of time, you'll need to consult your manual to see if you've missed something in the steps, the periodic steps of procedure in relation to operation. Or alternatively, you can ring BlastOne and say, the pulse hasn't worked on this particular unit. Have I missed a step out? And the help desk will be able to help you overcome anything you may have missed. So with any unit that you send air to, there's a receiver up there, up the top. So it's just a holding tank for air for those particular valves to draw from. But with any tank, of course, ultimately there needs to be a drain valve for that tank. So as we pan through this particular unit, I'll be able to show you where you can drain that tank daily for any accumulated moisture. And it is relative to how much moisture there is in the air as to how much it draws.